And then we'll call that done. As I said, I'm not sure if this is going to improve our yield or not. But it's definitely something to consider. It's going to make things less valuable to sell. Although I think we're generally hovering around a 10% environmental bonus on most of the things we sell. So I don't really have to worry about, you know, the odd, oh, you get a 5% better score, which gives you 1% more environmental bonus on your selling. It's sort of, yeah, right, okay. But don't get me wrong, 1%'s, when you're selling 500,000, 1% is still 50,000 bonus. However, oh, you know what I think happened here? It didn't do the top end of this because we weren't, it turned around halfway up the side of the field. Okay, somewhere here I'm going to have to take the overhead and drive down here. So yeah, we'll take a hit on the environmental score, but we may get more yield. Now obviously for the other fields, that's not the greatest of things because the other fields were all sprayed with herbicide, so are potentially going to suffer yield penalty because of that. But maybe going forward, that's something we should consider. Okay. Ooh, squeaks through the gap. I am running with narrow tyres on this, so that's okay as far as the crop is concerned because it's not mature enough to get damaged by driving over it. Okay, and we are done with the whatever we just did. We covered the turn out of there a lot easier when I'm in cab than when I'm not in the cab. So we'll tidy up this yard and at least call it a day as far as fixing things around the farm. We'll move on to day 2 and whoops. And see what that brings us. Oh, well, that's a little unfortunate, isn't it? Indeed it is. Well, I guess I'm using the next shed over. I wonder if that's a case of the slope of the ground, too much of the shed is underground at that point. Yep. Because I think these are identical sheds. Alrighty, let's put that down. Drop it off. And go grab this thing. And I think I'll leave the weight on the front of the tractor just in case we come up with a reason if we're going to be doing, what are we going to be doing? If we're going to be doing baling, then I probably do want to leave the weight on. There we go. Fertilizer's back in the tank. Oh, that was kind of well placed. Clean that. We'll clean that. We'll open the top. We'll spray the inside out. And everything's fine and awesome. Cool. And then I'll park that next to the lime spreader. I suppose that's the other thing we could do, is upgrade the lime spreader at some point. Okay, that's in the shed. Come on, there we go. Put that in there. So 9:45. I think the thing is I'm looking at this and I'm saying I could do a bunch of grass contracts this game day. The problem is, if I do a bunch of grass contracts today, I run out of time. If I do them tomorrow, I'll be able to do more of them. So, I think, I wander down the road, we'll go home, we'll sleep the night, and we'll see what the next day brings. Oh, actually, before I do any of that. So, construction. I do believe production. I don't know how much they produce. They are very pricey. Now, if we run down here, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the industrial BGA, this has capacity for 500,000 litres of each of these. I don't know what its production rate is, but it's 250,000. Whereas what we have down here, the mini biogas, you have this thing here, which is, they're all 55,000. This does pretty much the same things, but to a lower level. This thing accepts methane and electricity and gives it out. So I'm guessing that's a electricity and methane storage facility. This says, this has refueling, this one doesn't. So this one, you're just generating the stuff and leaving it. You've got to sell these two things. This one, I think you can drive up to with an electric tractor and refuel it. So I went for this one. And then this similarly accepts stuff. That's a small refueling station. That's a refueling station. I have no idea. But anyway, that's what we have at the moment. I could sell that and buy the big giant one. This one. No, not that one. I could buy this one. And this one will give me far more capacity to hold the slurry and manure and anything else I want to take down there. Does it accept the same things? Granddad 3, 6, 7. It accepts. Yeah, they accept the same thing. So anyway, that's what it is. Now the other thing I wanted to check was before we go to bed, I want to check where our sunflowers are. Sunflowers are lime green. So we've got sunflowers in 51, sunflowers by our house, and sunflowers across the road. Okay. Animals. Bees. Now. I'm kind of thinking a beehive there. Actually, let's do that one because it's bigger and goes further. So a beehive kind of there. So this is going to eat some cash anyway. There we go. And then another one over here. There's not quite so much room right here. Or I could put it in our front yard. Doesn't really matter. Or I could... see, the thing is, putting it down here, I do run the risk of tractors want to turn around right there. And I can't position it too far away. So I'm kind of thinking, yeah, this probably is a better place. Maybe at the back of the backyard. I wonder, could I put it there? It's not saying I can't put it there. Nice. So there was then a field of canola here. Indeed there is. I could just put it in the trees there. And then put another one over in this corner. And then the last one is somewhere over here, like this field here. And again, I mean, I can put one here, but Future says we are not going to be going crop in this field for very much longer. I'll put one there. I think, oh, I have plans for access there. Actually, you know what? I do own all these fields, so I could put one there. That's my field. Okay, so the plan here is I'm probably going to take this hedge out and put a farm track down here so that we can get from our yard direct to this field that we own, and then I don't necessarily have to drive on the road with stuff. I might need to cut a little bit out of there to give myself some manoeuvring space here so we can actually start harvesting that field. This field, not too worried about. As I said, probably going to become grass because of the ravenous cows. This is currently our grass field, and this field here is probably going to become our grass field. I don't know how much it costs. That field is actually cheaper than normal. 137,000. I do not have the money for it because I just bought an absolute ton of beehives. So we're down to 102,000. Still more money than I started with. So not a bad thing. Let me sleep to tomorrow. That would be a good plan. And we will see what the store sale brings. Oh, we just lost loads of money and made loads of money, so we've already got 120,000. We are making money here. Oh, that's kind of fancy. I do not have one of those. I have the Vaderstadt and stuff. This is a forage wagon to collect stuff from the ground. This is a tree stump grinder and a steel drop deck thing. I don't need any of those. Oh, that's sad. Now I could pay for some of these. Not too fast. Okay, nothing for now. Let me look at review of stuff. Production. We have things. So now it looks like I have to, I guess it was about 9 o'clock. We've slept just 22 hours. So I do need to fill this up. But it's not a huge amount of filling up. That's fine. Well, we do have 1,600 litres of methane, which for some reason I'm storing. Change that to selling. Contracts, they're just baling. I guess contracts is the thing to do. It's 1 at 10,000, 2 at 10,000, 3 at 10,000, 4 at 10,000, 5 of 10,000, and that's a silage. So we'll buy that too. That's good. Check the cows. The cows have 46,000 litres of milk. So we're only making about 46,000, 50,000-ish. Something to consider. But that's 50,000 each of the three, 1/3 of the month. We process 60,000 per month. We've still got 196,000 food. That's fine. We have a debt to repay. I should have done that. There we go. Now we're happy. We have tractors. We have things. We have stuff. We don't really have anything to sell now. Well, we kind of do. 180,000. And weather. Environmental score is 83. It is what it is. Don't want to cut that. So, I guess turn that on. and empty the rest of it. So yeah, we can't buy the industrial BGA at this point because we really don't have the cash for it. That should give me enough manure to process until June 3. Oh, calendar. July, we can harvest wheat, barley, canola, and oats. So we will have a sizable amount to harvest on July, which obviously is going to be probably next week. And manure gone. So we'll take this back to the manure pile. I suppose if we do the hay, if we do all the contracts and the mowing and the everything, that might make us close to 250,000. I will then sell the small BGA and get the big one. And then I can spend most of June 3 transferring all of the stuff to fill it up, and we'll lose the digestate, obviously. But I kind of don't mind you losing the digestate. The worst comes to the worst. We can use slurry on our fields, and it's not a disaster because we're producing so much of it. We're not producing much manure, surprisingly. So that's a thing. So I'll drop this round the back here. Or I'll drive up the shed wall, because, yay, that's a thing. Which way do I turn the wheel? Actually, I think I go backwards a little bit and then turn the wheel. Give me a little bit more space to swing the cart around. Then I will grab the slurry tank and do exactly the same thing with that. Because it's small, it's just going to be more trips to get there. And I think for the contracts, what I'll do, we'll grab the Fent with the baler wrapper. We'll go do the silage contract first. I'll take the baler wrapper home, and we'll collect those bales. And then I will just mow with the John Deere and complete the contracts that need hay. And who spotted the error? Just driving around with an empty slurry tank, because why not? Of course, doing that makes things take longer. So July is, we're going to have 3 fields of canola. I've got a lot of barley that I want to whole crop silage. However, because we're because the plan is to step away from that, I will probably do at least one headland in each barley field with the class harvester, just so we get a little bit of straw, we get a little bit of barley to put in the big flour mill thing, so that we can get back to making bread, because we're just making bread too fast. And then we can see where things end up after that. What else did we say? Wheat, oats, barley, and the other thing, canola. So canola we just sell off when the time is right. I'm really not going into canola oil production. At least at this time, I'm not going into oil production. We kind of got money to buy productions if we want to, but I'd like to make the productions we have as profitable as possible. It's canola oil, olive oil. What's the other oil? I don't know. Sunflowers. Indeed. Sunflowers aren't very lucrative either. Oh, I bite. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I might go back to planting soybeans again. The thing with the soybeans is I don't need to nitrogenate the soil, so all of our manure